I used to think that the best way to grow our advisory firm was to just continue to focus on and become a better and better advisor. Now, that seems to make a lot of sense, right? Be a better advisor, and then more people will want to come to you. But what I didn't realize, there's three other very important roles we've got to do, and they're often ignored. And if they are ignored, then advisors tend to burn out, or the advisory firm tends to fail, or just not be as successful as it could be. So first, in this video, we'll identify them, identify the other three. And then here's the good news. We can pick how much time we want to spend in each one of them. So we'll explore the roles and then how we can easily step in to each one. And if I haven't met you yet, I'm Dave Zoller. I own Streamline Financial with Tim. It's an advisory firm in the Chicago area. And we're sharing some of the things that we're doing that's causing our firm to grow rapidly over the last 4 years. And every so often, I'll put a private training, a video that's, I don't like to keep up forever. And I usually keep it up for 24 hours just because it might be something happening in our firm that moment, or it might be a client scenario that I'm just not comfortable keeping out online forever. So hit the bell icon and subscribe if you want to see those when they go live. So as I list out each role as we're talking, write down the role and then think about what percentage of time over the week would you want to dedicate, and how much time would you want to spend here? So number one, we know what it is already. That's the advisor. And if you've ever read the E-Myth by Michael Gerber, that's the technician. He calls it the technician. And this is the doer, right? It's the hands-on person. It's the person immersed in the day-to-day tasks of the business. And it's also the person in the operations of the business, right? They're focused on the present moment, and they're really good at the technical work, which a lot of advisors are. And they're not so much spending time on the management of the business or strategic planning. So as advisors, it's offering detailed advice. That's one of the things the doers or the advisors will do. It's managing client portfolios. It's doing the client planning and looking at the, going into e-money and creating the plans, or some of the other operational tasks. So it's really about becoming a better advisor. That's what I said at the start of this video, was getting better and better at that. Now, the step to think about for this role is separate the things that are fulfilling, that you like doing, that are growing the business, and the things that are draining, that you don't like doing. So think about some of the admin tasks or operational things. Think about the meetings with clients. How much time do you want to be doing those things? For those things that are draining, keep a list of those things, because you're going to want to outsource those. You're going to want to create a job description for later and not be doing those in the future. The next one is the manager. So you'll want to be a manager, whether you're going to hire people or if you're just going to stay solo advisor, because managers, they're the ones creating repeatable systems. They're the ones creating the processes for the business. So if you're a solo advisor, you want those things because that helps ensure consistency. It also helps you save your time, right? If you can have these systems where there's less thought that goes into each one of the steps. So managers, they are able to maintain and really smooth the operations of the business. So it overall, again, whether you're solo, it's going to make your job easier. And then if you're planning on scaling or at least growing and hiring people, it's really important to understand this management piece. Because if you've got a service, if you've got something that people want and you want to help more people, then you'll have to become a manager, even if it's only for a little while. For some advisors, managing people is probably not why we got into the business. It's just a necessary part of growth. I actually have another video that can be helpful for you. It's on how to turn your assistant into an operations rock star. And also one of those is to step into the management position. So it's advisor, then it's manager. The third thing is the leader. So if you decide to grow and have people start helping you, you need to be a leader who's really there to inspire and to motivate your team and set a compelling vision. Think about the future and where the practice is going, and encourage innovative thinking. And there's a lot of things that come as a leader. It might be the incentive structure too for some of these people that are coming on board. So this role of the leader is it's like dreaming big. It's embracing change. It's looking for opportunities and going after those, and then also driving innovation. 4 is the owner, right? If you want to create a 21st century firm that's not only going to survive the next 5 years of change, but thrive in a big way all the way through 2030, the ownership role is the most important role if we want to last a long time. Because as owners, the focus is on strategic direction and then thinking about long-term goals and then also focusing on the right business model and maybe evaluating and testing different business models out there and then making key financial decisions, right? Capital allocation. And a big thing with owners is you probably already know this though. It is finding the KPIs, finding the metrics or the data to just measure how the firm is doing. It's really high level view to just see what's happening in the firm. Actually, recent video, Peter Maluk, he listed his most important number that he looks at. Sounded like every morning was net flows. That was the key number he uses as in his owner seat when he's sitting in the owner seat. And by the way, if you like that idea of creating a firm that's going to last over the next 5 years of change, check out the Advisor Academy below. There's one section of that training that's all about the foundational parts and a lot about the business strategy, which a lot of advisors ignore, but it's so key. So here's the next step. Take a few minutes and spend time now and look at the 4, write them down. What percentage of time do you want to spend on advisor duties? What about percentage of time on management duties? And then leadership duties and ownership duties. What's the ideal, right? And then if you want to, write what you're doing now. How are you spending your time now? For me, just a few years ago, the vast majority was being the advisor. But once we started to decide, okay, we want to focus on growth and leadership, then it started to kind of move up a little bit where less time was on advisor and more time was in the other areas. Not so much management because that's something that I did not excel at, didn't love, but that's the challenge for you. So do that exercise. Hope it's helpful. Check out this video here if you're interested in more, and then I'll see you in the next video. Take care.